landed in Vietnam. We're at the airport.
You get the wrong person in the
We've
photo.
already been ripped off. We didn't know our calculations. Mum didn't step in.
That's not, I'm gonna be here.
It's all good.
It's not.
It's all good. It's a little Vietnamese village that we're staying in at the moment. Absolutely beautiful place in here. Traditional little Vietnamese shanty town.
Đó có xe buýt là tương đối kênh càng rồi xe tải nữa và đang gây ùn dài ở phía sau các bạn ạ. Đại lộ Thăng Long trong là
We're ready for 750 kilometers of epic Vietnamese mountains. January 2025 and we're here in Vietnam. We've been trying to get here for freaking ages and finally we've made it. We arrived in Hanoi a few days ago and we just did a little bit of stuff in Hanoi, got ourselves prepared, and then we headed to grab our bikes and now we're off. So what you're seeing here, we're just sort of in the outer suburbs of Hanoi and we're headed northwest into some super remote country. It's an absolute privilege. If you want to ride dirt bikes in Vietnam, just don't go anywhere else. ADVmotorcycletours.com. These guys are absolute legends. Min and the crew, thank you so much for everything and all your help. You're a bunch of legends. We've got a good mate of ours, Thanh. He has taken some much needed time off from his work. He's a local Vietnamese guy and also lives in Australia. The missus is here at the moment and she's on a mission up to Sapa and Hai Giang. So she's doing an actual like scooter tour. This is way too hardcore for her to be sitting on the back of a bike. So might look pretty chill now, but we're going to get into some pretty hectic riding over the next few videos. So yeah, the place is flourishing at the moment. So Vietnam itself, according to Thanh, he hasn't ridden out here for about 5 or 6 years, and the changes that he's been telling us about is phenomenal. I also have the privilege of riding with my two sons. So William and Ollie are both riding with us. William's 21, Ollie's 18, and they're not bad riders. They're half Vietnamese, so obviously, I don't know, this is like in their blood. They took to it like ducks to water. Vietnam is a pretty crazy place to go riding, especially in the cities. You've probably seen all those crazy videos of people, you know, trying to traverse through Vietnam. The funny thing is, no matter how busy you think it is and how crazy it all is, it just works. No one's angry on the roads. Everybody's chill. Yeah, there's lots of beeping and flashing going on, but that's really just to show people where you are and keep everybody aware. But where we are at the moment in the outer suburbs of Hanoi, that's pretty chill. We've left all the main sort of stuff, and now we're heading into some of the smaller towns. Everywhere you go from these little towns, like this is quite a big town, but when we get into some of the smaller towns, the amount of construction going on and the transformation from wooden old, you know, little bamboo hut type buildings to, you know, proper dwellings is quite substantial. So everywhere we go, there's just construction, both in domestic and commercial, happening everywhere. That along with it is bringing so much money to these small towns and small areas. People are obviously making money now and they're spending it in the areas. So it's really good to hear from a Vietnamese point of view just how great the place is actually looking at the moment and how development of this country is going. January is the coldest part of the year. It's the season where there's a lot of fog that comes down from all the mountains and sort of covers Hanoi and the surrounding districts. There's fog all through the mountains, clouds everywhere, and we've been riding in conditions probably starting at around 7 degrees going up to, I don't know, probably a maximum of 15-20 degrees. And as we get into the mountains here, you always see these pictures of Vietnam and of those really sharp outcrops. I don't know what it's made of. I'm not a rock person, but they're basically like big mountains and they're sharp. And it's not until you actually see them in the flesh that you're just so blown away by them. Here we come through some of these little villages, and nowhere in the world do you see pride in a flag. These people are so stoked about being Vietnamese and their country and their culture, and they live it and breathe it. It is awesome. The kids come running out on the street, and they'll actually, high five you as you're going past, and everyone knows that when they hear the sound of dirt bikes, it must be foreigners, or it's just very strange to see for them. So when we get to these little towns, nothing warms the heart more than every single person waving and wishing you well. It never gets old. We rode for, I think, 600 or 700 kilometers, and in every town it was exactly the same. It never got old. It was just the welcome feeling that you get from Vietnam and its people is just second to none. Here we are coming through, crazy little town. Banana trees everywhere. They obviously grow everywhere. Just wiping the camera there. Coming across a little swing bridge. And have a look at that. There's those peaks that I was telling you about. It is just an amazing place to view, to see. I've got a massive smile on my face just watching this. It's just so good.
How much fuel do you think we have?
Fuel,
Yeah.
maybe 20, 30 kilometre.
So this time of year, it's the dry season. There's very little rain that sort of happens. You might get a little bit of drizzle here and there, but pretty much everything's dry. All the rivers are down, and there's plenty of dust around. But probably the perfect dirt bike riding weather. Pretty much, you're not going to get slowed down by hectic amounts of mud, and it's not going to sort of turn your route around and make you go different ways. But man-made disasters certainly will.
The road is blocked because they explode now. So we have to turn back.
Ollie, when you're going over this real rough stuff, just stand up, knees out. When you're going really slow, stand up, knees out. When you're going faster, stand up, knees in.
So Ollie, my 18-year-old, he's been riding since he was a little kid, sort of 4 or 5 years old, but hasn't really ridden any of this steep, rocky terrain before, ever. So this was a real eye-opener for him, and I was pretty nervous. I didn't even know really what to expect. So, for him, it was a massive challenge, and he just mastered it. Super proud of my son. So unfortunately, the place that we were going to head to, or the track that we were going to go along, going over those mountains to the right there, didn't happen. What had happened is the guys were building a new road through that section, and they'd just done some blasting, so the road was completely blocked. So we had to turn around. We couldn't get around it. So having a look at these surroundings again, you're riding crazy views just everywhere. These insane peaks everywhere you look, and it's not until you get there and just really experience what it's like, the sights, the smells, the typical Vietnam sort of stuff. And remember, this is basically a third world country. People still burn stuff. They burn everything. So if you're offended by the smell of burning plastic or anything like that, you're probably in the wrong place. You need to go and cruise around some cushy little place. I don't know where you go, but it's a third world country. there's no sugarcoating it. You know, there's buffaloes, there's water buffaloes, pigs, there's dogs everywhere, running around, shitting, pissing everywhere. So yeah, get used to it, live it. It's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. It's perfectly normal, and you know, I was never worried for 1 second about it. You know, it is what it is. You just got to accept it, love it, and you'll have a magnificent time riding in a country that's completely different from the one that you're probably already in at the moment. Magnificent views again off to the left, all the mountains that we're heading into, over the top of this incredible lake, and we're heading to a little port, I suppose you'd call it, in a tiny little village, and we're going to catch a ferry and actually head across that lake on this little ferry. This is such a good experience. Beautiful, crystal clear, sort of bluey green water. Amazing place nestled here in the mountains. So one of the things that you'll never ever get sick of, you'll see here coming up on the left hand side, there'll be kids coming out and they're just going to want to high five you. So as you go past, you give them a high five, just makes their day. You never get sick of it. It happens in every single village that you go through. People are just freaking wonderful in this place. Sometimes there'll be like 50, 60 kids just rocked out of their school, and they'll all be standing on the side of the road just yelling and screaming and, you know, wanting to give you a high five, and just, it's a brilliant thing. It's such a brilliant thing to happen. Starting to get up pretty high now in the mountains, and as you can see up here on the left hand side, this type of construction there, like that type of building, is just happening everywhere. There's so much industry going on even in these little towns here, and we're getting, I think we did about 300 k's on the first day, so you know, we were riding full on all day. We didn't get into our place of residence until it was dark. It was pitch black, freezing cold. The roads were hectic. I don't know if I filmed any, but yeah, it was absolutely insane. Yeah, once you start getting higher, all the roads go from being bitumen to concrete. Everything's concrete. Even some, like on the left-hand side and right-hand sides of the roads, like going up into the mountains, some of the little tiny single trails, you know, going to rice paddies or you know, cornfields that grow on, 65 degree slopes. It's freaking amazing. Have all like got a 2 foot wide concrete path going up them, and I'm talking in the middle of nowhere. There's concrete 100 k's away from a town. There's a concrete little single track going up the side of the mountain, because these people, they only ride scooters, and scooters are bulk cheap. Those things go anywhere. They're not like the normal crappy scooters that we have in Australia. They're they're basically like postie bikes, but you know, sort of a bit different. So they go anywhere, and having that single track is a blessing sometimes, because you're not, you know, getting bashed around, but it's still heaps of fun. So imagine some of your favourite single tracks, you know, just that have just been concreted in. Yeah, it's a pretty cool experience, and we'll get into that pretty soon. Oh, look at that, even did a wheelie, amazing. Just stunning, dead quiet, crazy. Yeah, so as you can see, we're probably 250 kilometres out of Hanoi into the smallest little tribes and mountain areas, and they're just building massive roads. And this was continued throughout our journey through the northwestern part of Vietnam. Just so much industry going on, and huge roads and developments being done, and everything being upgraded for all the local people to filter that prosperity out, which is so awesome to see. Starting to get up pretty high now into some really small country sort of town roads, and one thing you'll notice is you see these little e-bikes everywhere. They're I don't know what they are, but they're little tiny e-bikes packed full of batteries, obviously got some pretty good range on them, and kids, as long as it's 50, there goes one, so as long as it's 50 cc's or less, kids can ride scooters, and these e-scooters they can ride as well. So quite often you'll see like 10-year-olds cruising around. There's one, there's another one, he gave me a high five, and yeah, just cruising around on these little e-scooters. You know, they go to school on them, they work, whatever they're doing, because I think school only goes until sort of halfway through the day. They only have half-day schools, but most of them run 6 or 7 days a week. So the kids are just either mucking around, playing around everywhere, or you know, going to school or working with mum and dad or the family. So you always see these little kids cruising around, and there'll be heaps more throughout the videos. So just rocking up at our halfway sort of destination to a wicked little cafe or restaurant in this town called Mai Châu, and it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. I'm just going to go up for lunch, and as you can see, stopping here in this restaurant here at Mai Châu. Can't go wrong. Beautiful food, great service.
Where are we, Thanh?
Sorry?
Where are we?
We are in Mai Châu. Mai Châu. Mai Châu Town.
How far from Hanoi? 200?
150 on road.
And where to next?
The next destination is Mộc Châu.
Mộc Châu.
Yeah.
Nah. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? So yeah, after 150 odd Ks or so, we're about to find out how good these KLX 250s are. And for a little trail bike, they're brilliant. They do everything you want to do. Look, they're not the most powerful bikes you're ever going to ride, but we're in a place that's completely foreign. As you probably noticed, we've got absolutely zero protection besides helmets and gloves on. I'm riding around in freaking skateboarding shoes and no knee pads, no nothing, and just yeah, sort of out of my element. But all of us are, except for Thanh. He was all sorted, just didn't get us any protective gear. So it doesn't matter. We made it through. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, especially when you're riding some of the stuff that you're going to see in video too. That's for sure. But yeah, this is heaps of fun. Those mountains up the top there, that's where we're heading, and it's pretty much all this type of dirt single, and then we start to get onto those little concrete singles as well, as you'll see up ahead. So much fun. So epic riding with the kids as well. Actually, in the next video, or sort of halfway through the next video, I get rid of this stupid chest mount for the GoPro. Actually it's a DJI Action. I'm stoked with the DJI Action, by the way, but yeah, this chest mount is just ridiculous. You can see your helmet in it. Horrible. So yeah, I repositioned it and it's heaps better. But yeah, heaps of fun tracks coming up through here. Enjoy. So Thanh was telling me that these little concrete tracks that they build, they basically apply to, you know, the government and say, look, we want to build a concrete track here. It's really simple, and then they get all the concrete sort of delivered to them, and the whole village or whole town gets together and they start building these tracks for each other, which is pretty damn cool. Could you imagine, you know, anywhere in Australia where the whole town would come together for the benefit of anyone? Yeah, it's never going to happen. So this is absolutely, like, it's insane that it would even happen. So we can't fathom it as Aussies, that, you know, we don't even talk to our neighbours, let alone getting together and you know, doing work together to make the whole town or village or suburb a better place. So kudos to the Vietnamese, they're magic people. you can hook along these tracks. It's a challenge just staying on the concrete. So, you know, it's pretty steep and it just goes forever. It's like riding the high country, you know, when you're just continuously going up and up and up and up for forever, it seems like. And yeah, it is quite a challenge staying actually on the track. Heaps of fun. Don't let it fool you. And here we are on this remote little bit of single, thinking that we're all out riding up this crazy stuff, and yeah, a couple of kids on a scooter, you know, 2 up, cruising down it, and it's freaking steep. I can tell you what, like, you hear I'm struggling up there in first gear in a fair bit of it. So the way that the Vietnamese people ride these scooters on stuff like this is just phenomenal. So we've just traversed this incredible track all up the side of this mountain here, the Golden Dragon track, and now we've arrived at this amazing spot. It's like this guy's just built this track all of himself on the side of this hill. That's what it's called, everyone. This is the place, and it is literally just like paradise. You never seen anything like it. Have a look at this. So the view is like lifetime best view. It's like a 1,000-year-old Buddhist monastery or something. You never see anything like this. All just hand built. Viewing platforms. Look at that. Hey man, this is great. Great, what a beautiful place. Amazing. Hey, amazing place, man. Yes. Amazing. Did these guys build this whole thing themselves, or has this been here standing forever? What do you know about it, Thanh?
This point we used to catching cloud.
Catching cloud.
Yeah, so some cloud there, you can stand here.
Yeah.
And cloud will below you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. I don't know if I'd be too game to go out on some of them, but 100 kilos, what do you reckon? This is So we just climbed the Golden Dragon and we're at the Dragon's Nest. Absolutely incredible place. We are so high on top of a mountain. We've just come from a deep valley and we've just found this oasis.
Sweet. What's going on, brother? This is so cool. This is so cool, dude. This must be like... So many people must come up here, Will. I reckon so. I got like a photo ops. I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna wait for you. I don't want to go too up on that one. Yeah? I'm not that fat. Oh my god, literally look at that. Stop moving. Wait. No, I'm sure they've had more than one person up here.
Patched up with more wooden nails on it.
Hey, it's all good. Check that out. Metal posts. I don't even know if they're concreted. Yeah, it shakes. Be a bit shaky, but look at the view. So worth it. Oh, didn't like that one. Alright, you take this. You take this.
What, you going on the stairs?
Should I?
Yes.
No, bro, look at the bottom. It's stuck on a tree.
Absolutely,
bro.
you should. Absolutely.
What if I die?
You won't die. You got insurance. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's insurance for you. I don't get anything. I die. Come on, you do it. I'm holding the camera. Alright. Come on.
Fuck that, bro.
Come on. This is gonna be like a recordings before final moments type thing, and you're gonna go on that big snaky bridge out there.
Huh?
Go on that big snaky bridge out there, Will.
Yeah, nah, I'd draw the line at that.
Nah, come on.
Were you going to?
I'm heavier than you, so I can't. How much do you weigh, huh?
65, I think. 66.
I think we weigh the same actually.
That's the last time I weighed.